Now that the music's finished, welcome to the STEM project, question 2 for year 7. So the idea behind this project is to ask you if you can design a timer which will measure exactly 1 minute. You have the opportunity to use your creativity and with a little bit of effort and some amazing content, get yourself 25 credits and potentially win yourself an iPad. In order to complete the project, you will need to research the different types of timers that have been used in the past and learn from the journey of timekeeping. So briefly, time has been measured in some form for thousands of years. For example, the ancient Egyptians divided into two 12-hour periods using a large obelisk like a sundial to track the movement of the sun. They also developed water clocks that dripped to give you specific times based on the speed at which they fell. Elsewhere in the world, burning candles, sand timers, and various other methods were used. But go away, there's lots of opportunities to learn about lots of different ways that time has been measured over time. We'll go away and do that research.
We check the time every day, all day long. But did you ever wonder, where did telling time come from? Why does it matter what time it is? Who determined the clock, and why in the world are there so many different time zones? The first form of telling time was the sundial, and the earliest sundials known from the archaeological record are obelisks from nearly 5,000 years ago. Sundials indicate the time by casting a shadow onto a surface. The object that casts the shadow is a stick in the center known as a gnomon. A well-constructed sundial can measure time with remarkable accuracy, and sundials were used to monitor the performance of clocks until the modern era. But sundials have their limitations too. Obviously, they require the sun to shine, so they don't work at all during the night when it's dark. Many different devices have been used over the years to estimate the passage of time. Candles and sticks of incense that burn down at fairly predictable speeds have been used, along with the hourglass. Hourglasses are devices in which fine sand pours through a tiny hole at a constant rate and indicates a predetermined passage of an arbitrary period of time. The origin of the hourglass is uncertain, although beginning in the 14th century, the hourglass was used commonly, especially on board ships. The motion of the boat on the water did not affect the hourglass, unlike other time-measuring devices. The mechanical clock was invented in the 13th century, which sparked a big change in traditional timekeeping methods. This modern clock relied on the swing of a pendulum or the vibration of a quartz crystal, which was far more accurate than sand or candles. Today, the basis for scientific time is a continuous count of seconds based on atomic clocks all around the world known as the International Atomic Time.
Because there are so many ideas out there, you might want to consider some of the options that you have. For example, do you want the object to move? So a couple of examples of this are the marble roll, where the marble rolls for a certain amount of time, and because of the slope you've created, it will always fall at the same rate, and you can time how long it takes it to go a certain distance, and that time for us would need to be a minute. Or you could have the object falling through a gap and measuring how quickly the object falls through, so a sand timer works this way. Or potentially you don't really move the object, so a sundial is where the rotation of the earth and the sunlight is, you use both of them to measure a shadow, and so potentially you could do it that way. But there are lots of different ideas, so have a look around and try to find something that suits you and that you think will help you get the best out of yourself. To help you do your research, I've included some really interesting and thought-provoking links, everything from a brief history of time through to a couple of different links that link to ways of making actual timers. My favourite though has to be the absolutely fantastic 25 Facts About Time. It's a fantastic video and I fully recommend it. This though is just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much fantastic content out there. Remember to keep the core values in mind. You've got to put the effort in to do the research. Once you've got that, you've got to then think creatively about how to put your content together, and that's what will make this project amazing. Before you go away and start developing your fantastic project, just a quick reminder about the key question you have to keep in mind. The idea here is to design a timer which will measure exactly 1 minute. Some of the methods mentioned previously may not be the most suitable for this, so carefully think about it. There are so many different ways that you could choose to present this project. Everything from PowerPoint presentations and videos through to maybe a poster explaining how you'd put this together along with the science that you've learned. And ultimately, I think the best way to produce this particular one may well be to make a model um, around how you produced a timer, because that's proof of concept, something that actually measures a minute. Whatever you decide, remember, whatever your content is, it's the amount of effort and creativity that you show regarding it. That's how your teachers will be marking this particular project.
We have got some incredibly exciting summer homework projects planned for you guys. So there are two projects available for each year group, one under the heading of STEM and the other a year of seismic change. It's really important that you answer one question from each of these projects. When you go onto our website and have a look at some of these questions, you will find they are incredibly interesting and provide you with an opportunity to research and create some fantastic project ideas. You will be wondering how your projects will be marked. So in September, form tutors will mark each project based on the following criteria: effort, content and creativity. They will award a grade 1 to 4 in each category, with 1 being outstanding. Just want to give you a few top tips on how you can achieve an outstanding grading in each of these. It's really important that as part of your research that you do for each of these projects that you show that you have gone above and beyond. Present your work in a creative and unique way to catch the attention of your audience, and think about the content that you include within each project. It's really important that the content that you include answers the question that has been set to you. For every grade 1 you achieve, your name will be entered into a prize draw. There's a separate prize draw for each category: effort, content and creativity. And if you get a grade 1 in all three, you will have the chance to enter a fourth prize draw. So to the best bit then, how will you be rewarded? So for completing each project, you will receive 25 credits from your form tutor. So 25 credits for the STEM project and 25 credits for completing a year of seismic change project. So in total, by completing these two projects, you will be eligible for 50 credits come September. That is equivalent to a bronze certificate. In addition to the 50 credits, there's a fantastic opportunity here for you to win an Apple iPad. Now, there are 4 prize draws available to you depending on the grading you secure on effort, content and creativity. If your form tutor awards you with a grade 1 for any of the 3 categories, your name will be entered into the prize draw for these. Additionally, if you achieve a grade 1 in effort, content and creativity, all 3 criteria, your name will be entered into a 4th prize draw as well, increasing your chances of winning an iPad. Both projects will be marked separately, therefore there is an opportunity here for your name to be entered 8 different times. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact your academy by the info@ email address. We are incredibly excited about these projects and cannot wait to see the work that you produce. And most importantly, we can't wait to welcome you back in September.